Hello everyone, Michelle here from the Creative Cove. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to do a little tutorial on doodling as I love to do. I'm a doodler, and today's inspiration came from this lovely book that I found in a secondhand store. It's a book about grass. How much fun is that? I was totally in love with this book. I just had to have it. It's got some really beautiful sketches and of course wonderful information about grass. And this grass is each of the 152 grasses known in the British Isles is described and illustrated in this book. And I just love the daintiness of these little grasses. And I thought, you know, if you really think about grass, it grows everywhere in the world, just about. Deserts, little tufts of grass, you know, the tundra, little tufts of grass. And every continent will have its own unique kind of grass. So a lot of this grass in here we do have in Canada. I can recognize some of them, different names perhaps, but we do have a lot of it. But I just thought they were just such pretty little drawings, and I thought we could do some of our own. So I've started a few, and I've done them on these scrap pieces of paper. I built a journal the other day, and I have a million of these scrap pieces left over, and they're just really fun, quick little sketches. I thought they'd be really fun to do together. A really great way to do some sketching without any stress and loosen up, which is what my Quickie sketches are always about. Just having fun, learning a little something, and creating some really cute, ready-to-use ephemera. So let's get started. I've got some more scraps around here somewhere. So here's a pile more. Oh, there's another piece of scrap. Oh, there's some more. Look, see, I just kept going and going because they're pretty quick, and but they're also really fun. And then you can turn them into bookmarks, or you can use them for ephemera or whatever you want to do with them, and then you make some lovely little bookmarks. I thought that was really cute. Okay, let's do some. So I am using my Micron 0.02. It's an archival ink, which means it doesn't bleed if it gets wet. So if you do decide to do this and then paint over it, the ink won't run on you, which is great. So let's choose some grass. So this is cute. This is called fern grass. What I love about this book is it even sometimes tells you where you'll find this grass. Different continents, South Africa, Australia. And I was born in England, so it's kind of nice to hear all these different towns. Gloucester, New Hamptonshire, wow, and in Wales and Scotland. It's kind of nostalgic for me. So I was born in Cornwall, so when I hear little towns that I remember as a kid, it's kind of nice to just to hear that sort of thing. So I'm going to move you down. Let's see if I can get you a little bit closer. The camera is way below my head, so I just want to make sure I've got you in frame here. So hopefully you can see both the reference and the drawing. Okay, I think we're in business here. So we're just going to sketch. So what I like to do is I bring the main stem up. Well, in this case, there is no main stem, but I start with a stem, and then it's got these little bits of side grass that go off the side. So I'm going to put one of those in. And I try not to copy the drawing exactly. I just want to kind of reference the drawing and get the little buds in where they're supposed to be. And I don't practice drawing the flowers or grasses exact. I just want to capture the form. So I'm just going to doodle, and as you can see, I'm just doing it very loose. Nothing's accurate. Nothing's in immense detail. I'm just capturing that feathery texture. Pull that back down, and then I'll do another one. So I'm going to do one maybe this way. And again, I'm going to give it that tuft of grass that grows off the side. Thicken it up a little at the bottom, and then pull the thinner stem up and start that grass texture again. And that's pretty much what I do when I look at a reference. I try to change the composition a little bit, and it's really important to do an engaging composition. So you try not to do them all the same height, or try not to do them all the same direction. You want to add some interest. You can have them cross over each other, so that's also gives it depth. So in order to do that, you just pick which one goes behind and which one goes in front, and you don't draw the line across. So this one I've tucked behind, and I'm going to give it that piece of grass that comes off. And again, that one's behind. So I just want to make sure I stick that behind. And then I do the little texture of the tufts up here. And this book goes into lots of detail about these grasses, which is kind of neat. I think grass gets overlooked and forgotten. Nobody wants to mow it. Maybe that's why they don't have an appreciation for grass. But if you think about how important grasses are for wildlife, for food, for places where animals need to live, and protection, they're pretty darn important, grass, which is probably why it grows everywhere in the world. I'm trying to think where it wouldn't grow. So anyway, there's permafrost, I guess. But I think it even grows, you know, you can even find grass in deserts. Grass that has evolved to handle its kind of environment. There we go. Just a couple more little tufts here. Just gonna bring back the shape a little. Same with this one. I think it's a little flat, so we'll put a little more in there. And you're just sketching away, having fun, relaxing, trying something new. And then it's got a couple of pieces of grass that don't have any seedlings. I'm assuming this has gone to seed. That's what that is. Or maybe that is the flower. I haven't read this page. But here's other pieces of the grass that has no seeds or flowers on it. All right, and then of course the root system, which is also really fun to draw. And it's really just squiggly lines coming down, intertwining on this one. Oh, I can feel the cold today. It is -11 outside. I was getting all excited for spring, and then Mother Nature's like, not yet. I have to wait a little longer. And threw in that -11 today. That was cold to wake up to. All right, and then I like to write the name of it, even though I don't like my writing. Fern grass. Just a simple little sketch, black and white. I really like it. You could ink it up, of course. You could do whatever you want. Let's do another one. So go to your local bookstores and be inspired by things you might find there. I love going into my secondhand bookshop in town. It just, you never know what you're going to find. Some days I find nothing, and other days I find quite a bit. So this one is called Silvery Hair Grass, and I like the little feathery, delicate look of this grass. So I'm going to start with another main stem. And once you kind of have fun drawing these, you can use them in any application. You know, if you're drawing a fairy scene or whatever, now you've mastered little fairy grass kind of thing. So you can draw all kinds of different subjects and apply them and what you've learned and the techniques you've learned by doodling. And it's very, again, just relax, very loose, and just scribble. You know, none of my lines are committed. I just kind of sketch them out and feel them out. And that's what my Quickie sketches are all about. I want to thank everyone too. I'm over 10,000 subscribers now. That is so exciting and wonderful. I can't believe it myself. It's just an honor, really, to know that people are watching and trying my sketches and learning something from me. I get quite a few tags on Instagram where they send me pictures of what they've tried after watching my videos, and it's just the best feeling in the world to see that people are trying it and taking your word for it and having faith in you to teach them to learn something new. It's really exciting. So thank you so much for your support. And let's do another one here. So I'm going to go up, and you can slow me down, you can speed me up, whatever you need to do. I'm going to just doodle along together. We'll do another one. This one has a little bit of grass coming up the stem as well. So again, looking at the composition, when you're designing something and sketching, it's still important to think of the space that you're sketching in. So if you wanted to put a couple more on this side and leave this white, you just always want to look for balance and movement, or I'm trying to think of all the artsy terms that people use when they're coming up with compositions. You want to make sure that it is interesting and not just flat. So doing them all the same height, like I mentioned before, makes things a little bit boring. Doing them all in the same direction is a little bit boring, and maybe not crossing them over each other makes things a little bit flat. So you're always looking for ways to make your drawings engaging and interesting. And composition is definitely one of those things you need to look for. It makes or breaks a picture sometimes, you know. So that being said, I'm going to put my tiny little grass grow-offs here. I'm going to do one that goes right through. So wherever something crosses, so this I'm going to stop, and then stop, and then stop, and then bring it up. And I think I'll go even taller on this one. And do my little grass. Again, just doodling. Referring back to the photograph, making sure I'm trying to grab the drawing, the actual grass, the way it grows properly. That's important too, if you're going to title the grass. So anybody who knows grass knows that you drew it right. Okay, and I'm going to stop again and then come down. I'm going to put one of those little grass things off here, stop, and then bring it back to, it all comes out of the same root system. So we're going to tie that back in. I would kind of darken up the back one a little bit. Just kind of recess it back a bit. And then maybe another little grass piece here. And then I think I'll put one right here, a short little guy. That's just starting to open maybe. And that's it. A little piece here. So maybe we'll do one more sketch. I think I'll just put a little indication of roots here, not too much, because I want enough room for the name. So I like to darken up the bottom, kind of ground the plant a little bit. So you see I'm just scribbling it in, and then we'll write the name. So silvery, yeah, okay. Hair, grass. So if you're watching from the UK, let me know if you, oh, the British Isles, yeah, let me know if you see any of these grasses, if you recognize the names and things. Let's do one more. What else should we do? I just love this book. It's so pretty. Oh, this is a fun one. This kind of blows in a fun direction. Kind of drew something just like that a second ago, though. So that you can see the grasses are quite similar. This is a nice one. Broadleaf meadow grass. Okay, let's try this one. We did kind of just draw that, didn't we, in a small version. Let's try something we haven't drawn much of yet. I don't know how they could distinguish the difference in these grasses. Some of them look exactly the same to me. Oh, here's one that's kind of like a, looks like a wheat. That's a cute one. Oh, this is fun. Let's try this one. It's called Cocksfoot. And it doesn't really say, I don't want to read the whole thing, but usually some words will occasionally in woodland in parts of Europe, North Africa, so on and so forth. All right, let's try this one. So this one is a solid branch here. So we're going to do a pretty thick branch. And I double it up. So I always try to stay relatively thin when I draw my branches at first, because that will kind of indicate to me how fat I have to make this after I build the grass up, so that I know it will hold the weight. So this has this kind of texture coming out, tufts. So I'm just scribbling that texture in. And then it grows on an angle here, so we'll curve it as well. So make sure we capture that form. So the grass grows in different directions, so it goes like this, and then it works its way like a ball, really, with a stem in the middle. Yeah, I strongly encourage you to go to a local bookshop or your library, and you'll be amazed at the inspiration you can find in old books. They're some of my favorite references, these old books. Scribble this out, maybe thicken it up behind, like there's some in the back of the stem. And then let's do another one over here, like it has in the picture. And do another one. So you have these little stems that come off the side, and then the tufts, these little balls of grass seed. This one we'll do in the back. So leave a tiny indication of the stem in the front. And I'm going to darken back here. So this piece is growing away from us. And that sort of thing adds depth to your drawing. So if you wanted to do, say, another one in the back, I would start and just leave that indication of the stem in front. See what I mean? So this one is way behind. This one's growing right away from us, so we don't even see its stem. So that's not in the reference, but we made it up. We get the idea of how this is growing, and then we just kind of build our own little composition. So it's a little naked over here, so I think I'm going to add another one. And I'll put a stem here, and maybe one more here. Fill this one out a bit. There we go. And it's not, you're not capturing all these tiny little details. We don't want to spend hours. Well, you can, but I don't want to spend hours on something like this. I just want to draw it and doodle and kind of relax and have fun with it and create these mini sketches. And I hope you sketch along with me, as always. I will put these in my Etsy shop if you're interested in supporting the channel. It would be appreciated. And you can always print them out on watercolor or print them out or keep them on record, and then you can practice drawing with them as well. There we go. And then another, so this piece of grass is pretty thick actually, so I think I'm going to thicken that up. And it's got some lined texture in it. I like that. Something very different. Mother Nature and her imagination, I tell you. I'm just going to give this a little bit more oomph on the side. There, another little sketch. So you can see how fast they come together. All right, so cock's foot. There you go. Another little sketch. So I think you get the idea. If you get some references and something really simple and pretty like this book here, how pretty is that? And just doodle. Just have some fun doodling. You can see how fast we did those three and what charming little sketches they are. At least I think they're really charming. And using up scraps. Now, these are nice scraps because they're all cut even, but again, just having so much fun creating these little grasses. Who knew grasses could be so cute and charming and fairy-like? So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you doodle along with me. Hit the subscribe and like button, and I hope to see you again. Bye.